There is a quiet hunger that lives in nearly every soul, the hunger to be understood, not just acknowledged, not simply tolerated or entertained, but deeply, soulfully understood. We long for someone to look into the chaos of our inner world and say, "I see you. I know what you mean." It's a long and rooted in our earliest moments as children when we cried not just for needs, but for recognition, to be felt, to be seen not as noise but as being. As we grow, that longing evolves. It becomes more complex, more concealed. We no longer cry out, we post, we explain, we defend, we brand. We present our lives like polished stones, hoping someone will look and say, "Ah, yes, I understand." But beneath it all, the same old ache remains. Please see me as I truly am. And so we shapeshift. We soften our edges so we won't disturb. We amplify the parts that gain approval and silence the ones that cause confusion or discomfort. In this endless effort to be understood, we begin to lose something far more valuable, our own self-understanding, our own inner stillness, our own unedited truth. We start to live as if our identity is a social contract, valid only when others approve of it. But what happens when they don't? What happens when you speak your truth clearly, gently, and they still turn away, misinterpret, or worse, distort it to fit their own fears? Here is where the Stoics enter. They do not tell us to become cold or unreachable. They do not advocate isolation or arrogance. They simply remind us you are not owed understanding, and peace does not require it. Epictetus wrote, "If someone tried to harm your body, you would resist them. So why do you hand over your peace of mind to anyone who misunderstands you? Let that land." Why is it that we guard our wallets, our reputations, even our time, but we let our peace be taken by the first person who doesn't get us? There is freedom in letting go of that burden, in accepting that you will be misread, misjudged, sometimes even by those closest to you. And it is not your duty to translate yourself endlessly into the language of every passing mind. You are not a product to be packaged. You are a presence to be lived. The world may never fully understand you, but your soul does. And that is enough. There comes a moment, quiet, often unnoticed, when a person turns inward. Not in retreat, but in return. A return to the self after too long seeking reflection in the eyes of others. This is the Stoic shift. It is not dramatic, it is not loud, but it is decisive. Where once you scanned every room looking for signs of approval, you now close your eyes and listen inward. Where once you adjusted your words to fit the mood, you now speak slowly, deliberately, not to please, but to align with what is true. Not for them, for you. The Stoics taught us, peace is not a public event, it is a private stance. They spoke of the inner citadel, a fortress within, not made of stone but of values, principles, stillness, clarity. Inside that citadel, no rumor, no gossip, no misjudgment can enter. It is your own, untouched, uncompromised. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "People will think what they think, but I am not disturbed because I remain close to nature and reason." This is not detachment in the cold sense. It is liberation from dependence. A Stoic does not need the world to echo their truth. They live it regardless. Most people live outward in. They let the world tell them who they are. If praised, they feel whole. If rejected, they fall apart. The Stoic lives inward out. They know who they are. They carry that knowledge with humility. And if the world agrees, fine. If not, it changes nothing essential. This shift is not easy. You will feel the pull to explain, to correct, to clarify, especially when misunderstood. But here's the quiet truth. If someone cannot meet you where you are, no amount of words will bring them closer. So you protect your peace by remembering its source, not in being seen, but in seeing yourself clearly. The Stoic shift is the moment you stop reaching to be understood and begin standing in understanding of your values, of your path, of your unshakable core. Let others write their version of you. You have no obligation to correct their story. You are too busy living your own. There is a sacred silence that arrives when you stop defending yourself. Not out of defeat, but out of inner certainty. The strength of solitude is not in being alone, but in being whole, even when no one else affirms it. You no longer perform your values, you embody them. Not for applause, not for recognition, but because they are yours, lived, earned, true. You walk differently when you no longer need to be understood. Slower, lighter. You move with a calm that doesn't ask for company, but also doesn't resist it. You welcome those who resonate and gently release those who do not. And in this space, something beautiful happens. You begin to hear your own voice again. Not the voice rehearsed for others, but the raw, unscripted one, the voice that knows what truly matters. It says things like, "That's not worth your energy." You already know the answer. Let it go. Stand your ground. Be kind, even if no one notices. This is the voice of your character, quietly unshaken, not needing to argue, not needing to win. You begin to see misunderstanding not as a threat, but as a natural part of life, a reflection of another's lens, not a reflection of your worth. And then peace begins to grow, not all at once, but steadily, like a candle that never flickers, even in the wind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the cliff against which the waves crash. It stands firm, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." This is the power of solitude. You become that cliff, not cold, not distant, just rooted. Stillness is no longer something you seek. It is something you carry. You walk into noisy rooms without shrinking. You are kind without needing praise. You remain silent without fear of being forgotten, because you know those who truly see you require no explanation, and those who don't, no explanation will ever be enough. You are not here to be understood. You are here to live with understanding, to embody wisdom in a world distracted by noise, to be calm in a society addicted to reaction, to be whole without permission. And that is peace.